بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. السلام عليكم once again, and we are continuing with our studies on birul Qur'aniyy by Dr. Fadel Salih Samirra'iyy. We had finished page 5 yesterday, alhamdulillah. So today we're going to start page 6, or at least the first paragraph of page 6, inshallah. But before we do that, there was a question on this. ما مثل ما مصدرية ما موصولة, what it is. So sometimes when the عائد is not mentioned, then there's a possibility of it being a ما مصدرية or a ما موصولة, because when the عائد is mentioned, it's obvious. But because ما مصدرية does not have a عائد, but when the عائد is not mentioned, now you have to ask yourself, is it ما مصدرية, is it ما موصولة, what's happening? Now I think yesterday we decided that it is ما موصولة because ما مصدرية is an ism, and therefore مثل is the mudaf, it's an ism. But what I forgot to mention is that when we're looking at the mudaf ilay is not just ma. The mudaf ilay in this sentence, it's what the entire masdar mu'awwal, the entire compound ism. So it's not just مثل ما, as in this is the mudaf ilay. No, the mudaf ilay is actually the whole sentence. So ما قال أول مرة. So this whole part, let me clean this up a little bit because it's too much. Okay, this is what we're looking at. So you have مثل, we said مثل is a mudaf, and then ما قال أول مرة is a mudaf ilay في محل جر. And then you enter inside that mudaf ilay, then you have ma masdariya, or you can look at it ma masdariya, or you can look at it ma mawsula. Either way, it's fine. Yeah. So you can say this is ma masdariya, ma qala, his sayings, or you can say ma mawsula, what he said. Awwala marra, the first time. I hope that clarifies that issue. Unless there was, let me see what's in the chat here. Ma masdariya. Yeah. Which in this case, yeah. Yeah, so it can be either. It can be either ma masdariya or ma mawsula in this case. And there are several cases of this instance in the Quran where it can either be ma masdariya or ma mawsula. It can happen.
So it doesn't have to have a clarity of being either one. It can be either of them, and that will be fine as well.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
You don't need, because essentially it means the same thing. مثل ما قال أول مرة, similar to their saying or to his saying the first time, or similar to what he said. What he said and his saying, pretty much the same thing.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So sometimes there's conflation in meaning. Sometimes there's actually a distinction in meaning. Like where you have in one case the action is more emphasized, and in another case the noun is more emphasized. Like, yeah, we know ma masdariya is action based and ma mawsula is noun based. So sometimes, especially when it comes to the Quran, it matters whichever one. And especially if it's not contradicting, then you can take both meanings. So that's always an added advantage there. Okay. So yeah, we can begin the next paragraph, inshallah. Anybody willing to read? Okay. So we have Faima, we'll start with you as we wait. Fauzia also. Okay. So we'll see how we divide this. You can just begin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So I'm going to start this, but I'm not sure what kind of ma this is.
Let me
Okay.
give you a hint. There's a ba there. Kind of ma comes with a ba.
So it's a negation. That's what I was.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, wondering whether. Okay. Wama qaw. Oh, so it's a negation. Okay. Wama qawlul walidi bin binil I don't know Mughira
Yes.
Bisarrin.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to say the meaning, or you want me to continue first?
Yeah, because there's a full stop there. We can discuss that first.
Walid bin Mughir did not hold this view in secrecy, or never held this view because it's ma and b.
So forget the negation. When you want to translate this kind of negation, you remove the negation. Remove the negation template and translate it the way it is.
Okay. The view of Walid bin Mughir in secrecy, that will be without
secret.
ma.
Is
In
a secret.
Okay.
So sir
is
a secret. Huh.
Oh, so okay. So you will take the ba out also. Is a secret.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you will say the view of Walid bin Mughir was never a secret.
Exactly. It was
okay.
Was not at all a secret.
Okay. All right. فقد اجتمع إليه نفر من قريش ليجمعوا على رأي واحد يصدرون عنه يقولونه للناس في الموسمي.
Yes.
موسمي. I don't know the words. I was just reading it as Urdu. I'm sorry. في الموسمي.
Yeah.
Okay. A party or a troop already gathered a group from Quraysh already gathered, and they agreed unanimously on one opinion, or they published one opinion, or they agreed on one opinion which they published, or I don't know.
ليجمعوا. So I think this is where let's go back to ليجمعوا. What kind of lam do you think that is?
This is the lightest.
And then لكي إذا حتى.
Light.
Yeah, light. So لكي.
Yeah.
What does li mean? لكي.
Should not. No, should or hopefully. What is the three things? Okay, I'm blanking out. So that. Yes.
So now think about it. Now this means so that they gather, or so that they decide upon, or so that they agree upon.
A group from Quraysh gathered so that they can agree upon one opinion. Now wahidin yasduruna, I think that's mawsuf sifa because of singular.
Right, in wahidin is mawsuf sifa, yes, and then yusdiruna is also.
Wouldn't that a sifa wahidin? Or ra'i, okay.
Yes.
So how do you say one opinion?
You can use that or
which they issued, which they published, which they about him.
About it.
Okay. I know the dictionary they gave earlier, it said that they tell people in gathering, يَقُولُونَهُ لِلنَّاسِ فِي الْمَوْسِمِ,
Yes.
that they will tell people in the gathering. فَقَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ, some of them said, شَاعِرٌ, that he's a poet. I don't know how to, because it's a maqul. Okay.
Yeah.
وَقَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ كَاهِنٌ وَقَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ سَاحِرٌ وَقَالَ بَعْضُهُمْ مَجْنُونٌ. Some of them said he's a poet. Some of them said he's a fortune teller. Some of them said he's a magician or a magician. Some of them said insane. فَكَانَ يَرُدُّ هَذِهِ الْأَقْوَالُ. These views were...
Aqwala, not aqwalu. You read it aqwalu, but I fixed it.
Oh, sorry. Aqwala, sorry, it's maf'ul. Okay. He as in Walid. Okay. He turned down these views. وَيُفَنِّدُهَا, and he refuted them, because I'm connecting it with Kana.
Beautiful.
Okay, I'll stop here unless you want me to continue the last line.
Yeah, let's figure that out first. Let's figure the nahu first. Okay. So وَمَا قَوْلُ الْوَلِيدِ بْنِ الْمُغِيرَةِ بِسِرٍ, like you read it correctly. This is ma nafiya. And so when we have, and again, it's ma, the kind of ma that is يَعْمَلُ عَمَل لَيْسَ, it works like laysa. So it's going to have an ism laysa. It's going to make the mubtada rafa, and then it's going to make the khabar nasab. So that's kind of like at the back of it, what's happening. But of course, it comes with ba here, which adds emphasis. So that's why the khabar is not nasab, because it's bisirrin, it has harf jar. Then so you have qawlu is the mubtada, that's why it's qawlu. Qawlu, it's also mudaf. So qawlu al-walidi, mudaf ilayh. So that's connected that way. And then you have al-walid. When you have ibn, the word ibn, coming in between an ism and an ism, the alif is not pronounced. So it just becomes bin. And then also becomes the sifa. So al-walid ibn al-mughira. So it's going to match. Al-walid ibn al-mughirati. And that's why we're putting a kasra there. So that is mawsuf sifa, that whole, the name structure. So that's going to be the mudaf ilayh. And that whole part is going to be our mubtada. Okay. And then bisirrin is going to be our muta'alliq bil khabar. But if you consider the ba harf zaid, then sirrin is going to be our khabar fi mahalli nasab. Okay. It's a very straightforward. So it's just mubtada and khabar in this particular sentence. And of course, this ma is negation. All right. فَقَدْ اجْتَمَعَ إِلَيْهِ. So اجْتَمَعَ is a fi'l ماضي. So we're looking at a jumla fi'liya. اجْتَمَعَ is the huwa version. When we have the huwa or the hiya version, we look for an outside dua. Then we have nafarun min qurayshin. So nafarun min qurayshin, min, this part, min qurayshin, is going to be the sifa of nafarun, harf jar. So this whole part is connected like that, and that's going to be our outside dua of ijtama'a. So who gathered? A group of Quraysh, a group from Quraysh, you can say. So a group of from Quraysh gathered. إليه متعلق. So حرف جار and اسم مجرور متعلق بالفعل أو باجتمع. لي يجمع. So لي, again, this means so that. So it gives the reason for something happening. So ليجمع على رأي واحد يصدرون عنه. So يجمع, again, another جملة فعلية. So أجمع يجمع. أجمع على, this is family 4 from جمع. So when you put it in family 4, it has the meaning of agree upon something or decide upon something when it comes with على. So that they agree on a single opinion that they publish to the people, that they publish about it. يقولونه للناس, that they say to the people في الموسم, in gatherings. موسم basically means festival or season, like we say موسم الحج. Right now we are entering into the موسم الحج, the festival, the season of Hajj. So that's how the word is understood. Like they say to people in gatherings or in a season. Basically, when people come to Mecca, especially at that time during the season of Hajj, people used to come to Mecca still. So they wanted a statement that they could justify what the Prophet ﷺ was saying, because other people from other tribes are going to come and they will hear the message of the Quran. So they wanted something to rebut that message and be like, oh no, this is just magic. Oh no, this is sihr. This is he's a kahin, he's a soothsayer or a fortune teller. He's just crazy, something. But all that did not work because everything that they said, فقال بعضهم, some of them said شاعر, poet. Some of them said no, soothsayer, and others said magician, crazy, whatever. But Al-Walid, who had the Quran and knew how powerful the Quran is and knew how Arabs would be affected by this Quran, it was like, no, this is not going to work. We can't call him magician, we can't call him poet, because he's not a poet. It's not poetry, it's not magic, it's none of this stuff. So he used to فكان يرد هذه الأقوال, so he used to reject this statements ويفندها and refute them. ثم قال, then he said. Okay, so I think so let's go back to يجمع. So we have the فعل على جار مجرور all the way. So you see this jar majrur begins there and it goes all the way to the end here. That's how big that jar majrur. So when you enter into that jar majrur, you have ra'in. So this is the jar, this is the majrur, ra'in, this is the sifa, the sifa number 1. Then يصدرين عنه sifa number 2. يقولون للناس في موسم sifa number 3. Okay, so of course this is one word. This is a jumla fi'aliyya. يصدرون عنه is a jumla fi'aliyya, and this is another jumla fi'aliyya, that is another sifa of ra'in. Any questions there or any clarifications?
You said yes, diruna, yeah, and this is
يصدرون.
يصدرون.
أصدر from family 4.
Asdara yusdiru. Okay, yusdiruna. And you've translated that as which was published?
Which they issued or published to people. They publish about it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So I think I read it as yes, duruna.
Yeah, that's family 1. That's lazim.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, so lazim, like I published. Yeah, I was published. That would be like the thing if it's lazim. But family 4 and family 2, they make it mutaaddi. So you can either say yusaddiruna or yusdiruna. But I chose family 4 because family 2 has intensity and like happening continuously. So maybe you can say in that sense they keep on publishing, but because it says fil mawsim, in the Hajj season or in the season or in the gatherings, then they're just going to issue it maybe once in the gatherings. So that's why I went with Asdara, family 4.
Sister, how can we come to know that number 2 and 3 are sifa of Ra'i?
Oh yeah, so okay, so Ra'yun is what is it called? It's nakira. It doesn't have al on it. So nakira ba'daha al-jumla, as BUJ likes to say a lot. So when you have something that doesn't have al on it or it's not proper, and then followed by a jumla, you see yusdiruna is a jumla fi'aliyah. So when you have something that is common followed by a jumla, that jumla is going to be the sifa of that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and if it was ar-ra'i, if it was proper, then this would be hal.
Okay.
So that's the distinction between the two.
Okay, I have a question here. So
Yes.
sifa number 2 is complete, jumla fi'liya with yusdiruna anhu. So that's the complete Jumla failure is sifa number 2. And then because Jumla failure is complete, so the next one is in itself Jumla failure. That would become sifa number 3. And that's how we distinguish between the 2 and 3. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
So I'm just going to take you a little bit back to le yujme'u, and since we were done with nafaru min Qurayshin, so le yujme'u is still connected because it says so that. Even though we are done with the Jumla failure, when we said faqad ijtama alayhi nafarun min Qurayshin, we were finished with our first Jumla failure here.
Can it be the why of that?
Yes, it's a sababiyya kind of connection.
Yeah, so this lam gives the reason, is lam al-ta'lil. It gives the reason why something is happened. So this lam is called lam al-ta'lil. So it gives the reason. Yeah.
So,
for why they were gathering.
So would we consider this a big Jumla failure then? All the way from Faqad down to al-Mawsimi. Would we consider this a whole Jumla failure? One big one?
You can. You can do that. And then you would say that this part, I'm not so sure if that is, because I know maf'ul li'ajli, you can do that, and then you can say that this part from liyujmi'u is the maf'ul lahu or maf'ul li'ajlihi of ijtama'a, because it gives the reason why. It answers the reason why. So that whole sentence will be fi mahalli nasab maf'ul li'ajli.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. So this last part, فَكَانَ يَرُدُّ. So kana, we know jumla ismiya. So the inside pronoun huwa is the fa'il. Okay. We look outside, there's nothing that is rafa'. So it means goes back to al-walid. And then of course the sentence after it is going to be our khabar of kana fi mahalli nasab. And then we enter into that khabar. It's a jumla fi'aliyya. يرد, huwa يرد, radda يرد. And then هذه الأقوال, because it's the maf'ul, he used to refute what, he used to return what, he used to reject what, this statements. هذه الأقوال. And of course it is هذه because al-aqwala is non-human broken plural, so we treat it as one she or one f. يريد يرد هذه الأقوال. So this is a مفعول به. Again واو حرف عطف, so it's connecting يرد to يفند. So you see this is a verb and a verb being connected there. So again this is يفندها is a جملة فعلية with its فعل and فاعل, and the ها is the مفعول به going back to هذه الأقوال. Any questions on that, or is that clear? Okay. So you can continue, Seema, you can finish this part up to number 2, and then we can have Fawzia maybe do the next.
Wallahu inna liqawlihi halawatan.
Okay, so let's go back. So when we swear.
Wallahi. Wallahi.
Yes.
Okay. Wallahi inna liqawlihi halawatan. Wa inna alayhi litalawatin. Wa innahu tilawatin, because it's a fidla.
This is not harf jar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So latalawatan. Okay. Wa innahu liya'lu wa ma.
This is not also a harf of jar.
Oh my God. Liya'lu.
La.
Seriously? Okay. Oh. Okay, let's start again. Wallahi inna. This is li. The first one?
Yes, this is li.
Okay. لقوله حلاوة وإن عليه لتلاوة وإنه ليعلو وما يعلي عليه.
وما يعلى, because this is مجزوم. Sorry, مجهول.
وما
Yeah, this is the
يعلى
tough one.
عليه.
This is how the
Everything
Arabs
wrong.
used to speak. You can imagine, like, this is old Arabic from Al-Walid ibn Mughira.
But nobody else volunteered because I had it all wrong. Okay.
No, it's fine.
Oh.
Now let's figure it out. Can you be able to translate this? Do you have some idea?
By Allah,
Mhm.
this speech is no, this is a sweet speech. Okay, by Allah, certainly, certainly no, because inna is making that halawatan, so certainly sweetness of this speech. I don't know
There
how
is
to. Sweetness is, oh, this speech has sweetness.
yes, there is sweetness
Li
to his words. Yeah,
okay,
so
okay,
li.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wa inna alayhi la talawatin, and certainly it has elegance, and wa innahu la ya'lu. I wrote to come, to be, fall, to cover.
Think of Allah is al-Ali, so ala ya'lu.
Or is highest. Certainly it is, no, certainly.
You can use elevated.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
Okay. It is elevated. Oh, it is surely elevated. Or it is for sure elevated, or I don't know. Wama yu'la alayhi. I don't know. Is it against higher?
And nothing comes above
and
it.
the thing is, oh, it is nothing. Okay.
Yeah. So it is the highest and nothing comes above it. So you can understand it as it dominates and nothing, and it is not dominated. It's always gonna overcome. Yeah. So that's the idea that is being mentioned here. Can
we say it overpowers?
Yes, you can also say overpowers. It overpowers and nothing overpowers it. It overcomes and nothing overcomes it. So that is the idea that is being mentioned here.
And here, wallahu inna liqawlihi, can we say, sir, by Allah, his speech has sweetness? His words. Can we say like that? His words has sweetness?
Yes, you can say that. You can say his words, they have sweetness, and because it's lam li, inna li qawlihi, like I have a pen, li qalamun. So li qawlihi, to his words, but we say his words. His words have. I have a pen, his words have sweetness. Yeah.
Also, Sister Ilham, halawatan here is ismu inna, right?
Yes, this is the ism of inna. So let's figure this part out. So wallahi, waw harf jar for swearing. So al-lafz al-jalala here is majroor because of waw harf jar. Okay, and it's a swear. Okay. Inna liqawlihi halawatan. So this is a qasam, and whatever comes after it is going to be a jawab al-qasam. So the whole thing is going to be a jawab al-qasam. That's the first bit. Then you enter into the jawab al-qasam. You have inna, which tells us is a jumla ismiya. So we have to find our ism inna, because liqawli is a jar majroor muqaddam. So you have halawatan, this is the ism of inna, and we know inna and its ism, they can have a long distance relationship, no problem. So you have the mubtada is inna halawatan liqawlihi. That's how it was supposed to be. There is sweetness to his words. Okay, That's how it was be. But because of this muqaddam, so you say certainly there is sweetness to his words. لقوله, that's going to be the jar majroor. Then you have wa inna. So this inna is being connected to that inna by the harf atuf wow. Inna, again, another jar majroor coming in muqaddam. لتلاوة. Now here it's not لطلاوة. Okay. This kind of lam is called lam muzhaliqa or muzharifa. Is a kind of lam that enters into the khabar to stress the khabar. And it's lam with a fatha on it. It's not lam harf jar. Lam harf jar is li. But this one is la. So they're actually, I don't want to, let's just say there's so many different kinds of lam. Like you have lam that is harf of jar. You have lam that is jawabul qasam, like law, the lam that comes with law. You have that kind of lam. So you have like about maybe 16 different kinds of lam. So many different kinds of lam. This is one of it, one of the different kinds of lam. This one enters into the khabar. Yeah, and it stresses it. It stresses
So it's lam of emphasis?
Yeah, sorry, this is lam of emphasis. Yeah, that's a simpler way of saying it. Wait, this is a different one. This enters into the mubtada. Yeah, so this one, oh my God. So this lam is different from this lam. This one, let's just say lam of emphasis. Let me not confuse you with the big fancy names. This is lam of emphasis. It enters into the mubtada and stresses it. So inna latalawatan alayhi. There is certainly, absolutely elegance to it. And then you have wa innahu. So again, our mubtada, and then whatever comes after it is going to be a khabar. And inside that khabar, you have another lam. This is again another lam of emphasis, but this one enters into the khabar. Okay, so this one enters into the mubtada, this one enters into the khabar, but they're both lam of tawkid, lam of emphasis. Yeah. So wa innahu la ya'lu, and it certainly overcomes, dominates, overpowers. وَمَا يُعْلَى عَلَيْهِ, this is ma nafiya, and it is not overcome, it is not overpowered, it is not dominated, right? وَمَا يُعْلَى عَلَيْهِ. So يُعْلَى, this is our fi'al, and this is our muta'alliq. All right. Yes, lam al-tawkid. So both of these are different kinds of lam al-tawkid. More or less the same thing, but yeah, so they're both emphasis. Yeah, so the only difference is that one enters into a mubtada and the other one enters into a khabar, but they're both lam al-tawkid for emphasis. Yeah. Any questions on that?
Sister, sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah.
Sister, inna liqawlihi. So how we get the meaning of there? You said there is sweetness.
Yeah.
Certainly there is sweetness in his speech.
So you can say his words have sweetness. You can just say that. His words have sweetness in it. So لقوله حلاوة, his words.
So like it's inna and ismu inna, right?
Yeah.
So how do we translate it? When we say his words have sweetness, it seems like mubtada and khabar.
Yes.
But then halawatan is not khabar here, it's ism of inna.
Yes.
So could be the translation?
So let me think here for a second. So basically it's inna halawatan liqawlihi. Certainly sweetness to his words. That's the literal translation. Certainly sweetness to his words. So obviously you can't say like that.
That
So
in English,
that's why you say, yeah, certainly there is sweetness to his words.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's where the reason came
Because
from.
otherwise it seems like mubtada and khabar kind of. When we say there's a sweetness and there's a you said something, it seems like it's a I felt like it's a mubtada and khabar, but then halawatan is ism here. So
Yes.
but then because of how it
Is
makes
the
sense in
is
English. They're just
yeah. Yeah, it's
playing with the
basically to
words.
make sense.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, and you see, that's how the Arabs spoke. It's a little bit. The English, the Arabic was very pure, and at that time, very
Right.
complex. Although for them, it might not have been complex at all. Okay, so مزحلقة and lam al-ibtida. Okay, let me write it for you. So the first one is, where am I? Here. So the first one is lam al-ibtida. Ibtida. No, there's no hamzatul wasl. Ibtida. And then the second one is, so this one, the one that enters into a mubtada is lam al-ibtida. Mubtada, ibtida. Get it? Like it enters into a mubtada. And then the second one that enters into a khabar is called lam al-muzhaliqa. Muzhaliqa or muzhalifa. But muzhaliqa is the more common wording, non-wording. But both of them are lam of emphasis. Okay. All right. Any other questions?
They don't have any effect on the Arab?
No, they don't. They just add emphasis.
Okay.
It's basically the same lam of emphasis that Ustad taught us, but he just didn't distinguish it into the different categories that, yeah.
Okay. So this is not the likai or the li that we had read, right? This is something else, huh?
Yeah. So you have harf of jar, which is li.
Yeah.
And then under that harf of jar li, there are different kinds of lam also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is, it's called lam maftuha, lam with a fatha on it. So la. So you have li and then you have la.
Okay.
Right.
Jazakallah khair.
Right, yeah, cool. All right. Any other questions? We can move to the next part. Okay. Fawzia, you want to read the next paragraph?
Inna ta'bir al-Qur'ani ta'birun fanniyun maqsoodun. Certainly, the expression of the Quran is technical, intentional expression, is a technical, intentional expression. Inna harf of nasab, ta'bir al-Qurani, ta'bira is the ism of inna, and Qurani is the sifa of ta'bir. And ta'birun, fanniyun, maqsoodun is the khabar, where fanniyun and maqsoodun is the sifa of ta'birun.
Beautiful. So that's a simple jumla ismiya there. No complexities.
Kullu lafzatin bal kullu harfin fihi wudiya wad'an fanniyan maqsoodan. Every word, rather every letter in it, is placed intentionally, artistically, beautifully, artistically, intentionally.
Okay, beautiful.
So I see a lot of mutaliq bil something. So kullu lafzatin is a mutaliq bil fail, because I see a fail wudiya.
Why is kullu lafzatin muta'alliq? Let's go back there.
Okay. Because it's a special mudaf.
Is it?
Special mudaf?
No, it's not.
I think it's a mubtada.
Okay.
It's a mubtada, yes.
Why have I gotten this confused?
I think it's not. It's just a mudaf here, but it's a mubtada. It's a mudaf, yes, but it's not a special mudaf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I need to go revise that list. All right. So that if it's a mubtada, then this whole thing is a mubtada. kullu
Yeah.
lafzatin bal kullu harfin. The whole thing
Yes.
is a mubtada.
Beautiful.
Fihi is muta'alliq bil khabar. Wudi'a starts the jumla failure. No. Well, it is a fail.
What came before it?
So yeah, so it starts the khabar. So the khabar starts from wudi'a and it's a jumla failure inside the khabar. Wudi'a is a fail. Wada'an, fanniyan, maqsudan are all it's maf'ul.
Yes.
bihi.
مفعول به? Which مفعول?
Sorry?
So what مفعول is this?
It's,
كلام مفعول is that?
So how is it
it's-
based?
Listen, وضع وضعا.
مطلق.
oh, it's that one. It's that one. The one we've done.
Mutlaq.
Muta'alliq.
Yeah.
Mutlaq, sorry.
Yes.
Mutlaq.
مطلق.
Thank you, Simon.
Yeah. So this will be
So
the
all
sifa
of-
to that maf'ul.
Yeah. So all of these would be considered mutlaq then? Would
No.
wada'an, fanniyan, maqsudan?
Only wad'an is the maf'ul mutlaq. These other ones are sifa.
Oh, sifat wada'an.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So artistic intentional placement.
Artistic intentional placement.
But because it's
Oh,
maf'ul
okay.
mutlaq, then we add some bit of emphasis to it. So it's
Okay.
beautifully, artistically, and intentionally placed, or something like that.
So do you want me to carry on?
Let's see if there are any questions on this part. Did everybody understand how we came up with all that? Maybe just a few points on bal. Bal is harf atuf, and that's why we are all putting this entire part into one bucket. So كل لفظة مضاف مضاف إليه مبتدأ بل حرف عطف كل حرف again connected to that initial part, and that's why this is one bucket. Okay, and bal again, it emphasizes what comes after and sort of negates what came before. Like if I said the Bible rather the Quran, I'm actually saying no, not the Bible, the Quran. So this kind of like bal is used for that kind of purpose, to negate what came before and to affirm what comes after. So he's saying every word rather every single letter. It's kind of like what's happening there. Right? You can continue if there's no questions.
Walam sura'a fi hazil mawdu'i
موضعي
mawdu'i
موضعي
موضع الآيات وحدها ولا سورة وحدها بل رؤيا في هذا الوضع هذا الوضع التعبير القرآني كله كله.
Yes.
Now here there's a big file. Okay, so let's start again.
Yeah, let's okay, go on.
Go ahead.
No, go on. I want you to try. Go on.
Oh, so this is jumla failure with the tura'a fail. في هذا الموضع is your متعلق بالفعل مقدم. Then آيات وحدها آيات is the file and وحدها is the.
So تراع, let's go back to تراع. What kind of a فعل is that?
It's a second person.
Majhul.
Majhul. There we go.
Yes.
It's a majhul. So
Because
what does
it's
that tell
there's a
you?
Oh, it shouldn't. What does that tell me?
What does that tell you about ayatu? When you have a majhul passive, we don't have fa'il. What do we have?
Oh, it's not, of course, naibul file.
Yes.
Okay, yes.
Okay, go on.
And then the wahdaha is the sifat to al-ayatu. No.
no.
It's a maf'ul. No.
When you have al on it, something comes after it, most likely it's
Mudaf ilayh.
hal.
Hal.
Yes. So, okay, wahda, we'll come back to wahda. I will explain wahda. There are two
Okay.
views on
Yeah.
wahda.
Because it's al-ayatu.
Yeah.
All right. And then the waw ataf wala suratul wahdaha again.
Yeah. Connected.
And this whole thing is naibul file to surah.
Yes.
Wow.
Beautiful. Actually, it goes on.
Oh no. All right. Then there's a bell there. So
Right.
then there's a kind of break in my mind. Then there's ru'ya, which is the fail.
Mm-hmm.
Fi hazal wudi, which is the mutaliq bil fail.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're looking for a naibul file, which will be the birul Qur'aniyy. And then the kulluhu, the whole thing, birul
Yes.
Qur'aniyy kulluhu will be the naibul file.
Beautiful. And what is kulluhu? What is the relationship between birul Qur'aniyy and kulluhu?
It's a, I want to say sifa because it's all of the Quranic expression.
But we talked about kull specifically. Nafsuhu, kulluhu.
Yeah. Can I say badal? Oh, somebody said badal.
No badal. No badal.
Not badal. Okay.
No badal. Something else. This is tawqid. This is a kind of tawqid. Yeah, when you have kulluhu, when you have kull followed by a pronoun, it's going to always be tawqid. Kulluhum, ajma'in. What else?
Okay.
Yeah, nafsuhu. Yeah, so this is emphasizing birul Quran, the entire birul Quran, the whole of it. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
that's good. Okay.
Okay, so let's see, can we translate as placed visibly, artistically, and intentionally? Artistic and intentionally? Yeah, I think you can translate as that. The only challenge I have with translating wad'an as visibly is because this is a maf'ul mutlaq, so it just basically emphasizes. This is a tawkid linaw. It's emphasizing the action. So how was it placed? So there's more emphasis on how it was placed. Wudi'a wad'an, like it was beautifully placed. It was awesomely placed. Like that kind of idea. I'm not so sure if I'm capturing correctly. So that is maf'ul mutlaq. We normally don't translate it. We just add emphasis to the fi'al that is already there.
I have a few questions.
Yes, go on.
So I know I had it all wrong, but because I had al-wad'i al-ta'bir al-Qur'aniyy, I was making it mawsuf sifa. Why did we not do that? And I think I did similar thing somewhere else. I made it mawsuf sifa instead of so because they are, I mean, without the haraka, how would you know unless you know the context, I guess?
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's go bit by bit. So walam tura'a. So this, I have a question. Why we have harf of jar, jazm, lam? How is tura'a majzoom? Isn't it supposed to be majzoom? What's happening here? Who has some idea? This is a sort of question.
I think the ya in the end has been dropped.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's ra'a yura'i. That's the mudari', yura'i. And then of course this is majzoom. So ru'iya yura'a. It was supposed to be yura'a. There's a alif maqsura that was supposed to be here at the end, but because we made it majzoom, we got rid of that weak letter. So it remained tura'a. Anta version, sorry, the here version, tura'a. Okay. And because it's the here version, we look for something outside. And because it's majzoom, we look for na'ibul fa'il. That's why al-ayatu wahdaha became the na'ibul fa'il. Of course, في هذا الموضع, I think this is clear because this is just a jar مجرور. في حرف جار. هذا اسم الإشارة. الموضع مشار إليه. And so this is the ism, the majrur to that. So that part is clear. Then you come to al-ayatu. We said that is the na'ibul fa'il. Now, wahdaha. Wahdaha has, there are two ways to look at wahdaha. So some grammarians say that it is a hal of whatever comes after it because it explains how. How did something happen? The ayah alone, by itself. So how? By itself. So you can see it's explaining how. So that's one camp. So whenever you see wahda, this is how you do the i'rab. That's a trick. It's either going to be a hal, so it's explaining how, or some say it's a maf'ul mutlaq in a sense, like na'ibu maf'ul mutlaq, where the fi'l it's mahdhuf. So remember when we discussed maf'ul mutlaq and na'ibu maf'ul mutlaq, we mentioned this idea. I think just saying it is a hal is much easier, straightforward, than saying it's a maf'ul mutlaq, because you would say wahada wahdaha. That's the idea. Wahada wahdaha. It's a weird thing to translate. So either you can look at it as hal or na'ibu maf'ul mutlaq. I prefer hal because it's straightforward, it's easier. Okay, but just know that there are those two possibilities of wahdaha. So al-ayatu wahdaha wala suratu wahdaha, again that's connected to that. Bal ru'iya. So now you see this is the beginning of the bucket of the naibul fa'il, al-ayatu. This is where we begin the bucket. So al-ayatu is connected to wahdaha because wahdaha is the hal of that. Then you have harf ataf. So this part is connected to that part. Okay, good. Then you have bal. Bal is also harf of ataf. So we're still connecting. So this part is still going. So bal is connecting this part to this part. And remember what bal does, yeah? So it negates what came before it and it affirms what comes after it. So ru'iya, this is a fi'l. It's also majzoom. I keep saying majzoom. Majhul. Keep confusing those two. It's also passive. في هذا الوضع. في هذا الوضع. So this right here is what we are saying is متعلق. So في حرف جار. هذا الوضع اسم الإشارة المشار إليه, one bucket متعلق. So رؤية is مجهول. Okay, it's the fi'l and it's the huwa version of the madi, which means we can be able to look outside for something that is rafa. And I think that's what you're asking, Saima, how do we know? So because it's the huwa version, we look ahead and see if something fits the description of naibul fa'il, and at-ta'birul Qur'aniyy fits that description, and that's how you can be able to tell. But it will help if you know the meaning, because if we're saying rather this is what was considered, then you have to give me something that was considered. So I have to have something that was being considered, right? And that's why we are taking it as the naibul fa'il of ru'iyah. So when I'm translating this, I'm going to start from the na'ibul fa'il. When I'm translating this in English, I'll forget what was said before, and I'm going to start from the na'ibul fa'il, which starts from here all the way to the end. So I'm going to translate this whole part before I come to that first part. So ولم تراع الآية وحدها ولا السورة وحدها. Not just a single ayah or a single surah, rather the entire Quranic expression was considered في هذا الوضع, in this placement. Or you can say, it's a tricky one. Let's see how I translated it. I'm not sure. It's been a while.
في هذا الوضع يصير متعلق بالفعل, right?
Yes, متعلق بالفعل.
So, Sister Ilham, can you just slowly translate it again from walam?
Okay. And not just a single ayah. So, walam, not just. Then we go to the na'ibul fa'il, which is a single ayah. So, not just a single ayah alone was considered in this subject, nor a single surah alone. Rather, all of it was considered in this compilation of Quranic expression. That's kind of like what I wrote a while back. But let's go back. So, ولم ترع في هذا الوضع الآية وحدها ولا السورة وحدها. Not just a single ayah alone was considered, nor a single surah alone was considered in this placement في هذا الموضع. Yeah. بل rather رُعِيَ في هذا الموضع التعبير القرآني كله. Rather, the entire Quranic expression was considered in this placement. Is that any clearer? Do I need to repeat something there?
So, تعبير القرآني كله is نائب الفاعل of رؤيا.
Yes.
And ayatu is نائب الفاعل of ترى.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And this part is connected, and this first part is connected to the second part because of bal.
Right.
Yeah.
So all the way from ayah to kulluhu is a naibal file of Torah.
Yes, you can look at it that way. Yes.
It's not one ayah or one surah, rather all of the Quranic expression was taken into consideration in its in this placement. Okay.
Exactly. That is it. That's what is being said. Yeah. So the author is saying it's not just a single ayah that was considered. No, it wasn't just a single surah, but the whole Quran was considered or was taken into consideration. Yeah.
Sister Ilham, can you please repeat one thing? How did you translate Mawli and Wadi? I'm just writing it down. Can you please repeat it once? Mawli and Wadi.
Okay. So mawdi', I translated as what? Let me see. Every word, rather every letter press in, and not just a single ayah in this subject matter. So mawdi', mawdu'in. Is it mawdi'in or mawdu'in? What is it?
Mawdi'i.
Mawdi'in, yeah. So that's subject. Mawdi' is a subject matter, like subject in this subject, and then wad'i, placement.
Placement, okay.
Yeah. Or completion. It works even. Any other questions there?
Mawdi is zarf, right?
Yes.
Okay. And Wadi is masdar, right?
Masdar, yes.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. Anybody else wants to read? There's also another hand. Or unless it was a question. Okay, Sultana, you can read this paragraph. Oh, it's 3 already. Oh gosh. Sorry, I lost track of time. It's an hour, I guess. Do you guys think we can stop there? Is that okay to stop, or do you want us to continue? I think 2
We
passages
can
is
read
not
one
bad.
paragraph. We
One
can read
more?
one paragraph if it is feasible for everyone.
Okay. Okay. Let's try and see if we can be able to read. Okay, Sultana?
This sister, laqad, from laqad.
Yes, from laqad.
Laqad, laqad in which field is this? In
انتبه.
laqad intabahul qadma intabahul qadma
قدماء.
intabahul qadma.
So this is the dua. انتبه القدماء.
قدماء إلى أن إلى أن صور صور أن صور التي अच्छा ओके أن الصور التي بداتي
بدأت
بدأت بالحروف المفردة بنية
So this is مجهولية.
بنيت
Or بنيت even, just without the shadda is fine, I think. بنيت
على ذلك الحرف.
Maybe let's stop there and see if you can figure that out. Can you be able to identify anything there? Can you translate something or?
Where in this system?
Yeah.
لقد is the harf takhfif, I think so. Intaba is فعل ماضي ها مفعول به.
Ha is not maf'ul bihi, it's part of the jither. This is
I think
in
it's from
Qalaba family.
Qalaba family, right? Intabaha.
Ha is jidar, sister?
Yes, ha is jither.
Nabaha. Nabaha will be the
Yes.
jidar?
Yes.
Acha. Okay. Intabaha intabaha. Okay. Aqdama'u is file. Ila. So ila is harf jar. Anna mushabba bil fi'l. As-suwara is ismu anna. Allati is isma mawsul. So bada'at bil hurufil mufradati is silatul mawsul.
Yes.
So this whole will be majrur, silatul mawsul, and this whole will be marfu. Like for khabru anna.
So you have
no. This whole will be silatu. This will be mansub because this will be following allati will be following us surah.
Yes, the sifa of a surah.
Surah, huh. So mawsuf along with the sufa, this will form the ismu anna.
Yes, beautiful.
This whole thing. Then so buniyat ala zalikal harfi will be the khabru anna.
Beautiful, exactly.
So this whole will again form jar majroor will go back to intabaha, fail.
بنيت
Anna along with the ismu and khabaru, Anna with its ism and khabar will become majroor to ila. So this ila along with the majroor will go back to the fail intabaha.
Yes. Yes. So from here. You're talking about from here. Yes.
Yeah, this whole till the last. So
Yeah.
intabaha fail along with the fa'il qaddama'u and the whole mutaliqani will form jumla failure.
Yes. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let's try and see if we can get into it. لقد انتبه القدماء. So the literally it means ancients, but we're not going to translate as ancients. So the earlier generations would say the earlier generations were already aware, intabaha, to be aware, because it's lazim. So they were already aware. What were they aware of? Ila, so it comes with ila to make it mutaaddi, because again, like I said, it's lazim, so you need a harf to make it mutaaddi bi harf. So they were aware of what? They were aware of all this. So they were aware that السورة, that the surahs التي بدأت بالحروف المفردة, the surahs which, again, because it's more so sifa, we're going to put which. So the surahs which began with
single
individual
word,
individual letters, with single letters or individual letters, بنيت على ذلك الحرف, were composed of that harf, majorly composed of that harf, or were constructed with that harf. In other words, they're saying that the earlier generations noticed that when you have, like, for example, a surah beginning with qaf, letter qaf, yeah, so qaf wal Qur'aniyy al-Majid, that the entire surah is going to have a lot of qaf in it. That's what they're trying to say. So buniyat ala dhalika al-harf is going to be constructed upon that letter. Yeah. Or, yeah. Okay.
Sister Ila, is this Kudama'u or Kuduma'u?
Kudama'u. Qadim, and then the plural.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So this is not the plural of Qadam, right? Oh.
No, Qadam is foot. This is plural of Qadim.
Qadim. Oh, yeah.
Qadim.
So that's
Qadim.
how the foot is. Okay. So it is something else. Okay.
So it's like ulama.
Yes, like ulama'u. Yes, exactly like ulama'u. That pattern for ala'u is a plural pattern for fa'il, for ism sifa. Qadim, qudama. Alim, ulama. Shaheed, shuhada. So that pattern.
So ulama is plural of alim, not alim?
Alim? Wait.
So it should be
I'm not so sure.
qudama.
I'm not so sure. It could be. Because again, plural patterns, they are plural patterns for ism sifa, ism maf'ul, and ism fa'il. So it could be. It could be for alim, for alim. Alim, I have to confirm that. I'm not sure. But I know this pattern for ala'u is a plural pattern
sifa.
for
This
ism
is
sifa.
sifa pattern only, na sister?
Yeah.
Sifa pattern.
Yeah, sifa pattern, yeah. Ism sifa.
Like Kareem ka, Alim, Alim.
Kurama'u, yeah. Yeah.
فإنal kalimatil فإنal kalimatil khafiyati تردد في سورة تردد في سورة كثيرا.
قاف في سورة قاف.
في سورة قاف. سورة قاف. كثيرا والكلمات الصادية تردد
ترددت
في سور ترددت في سورة صاد كثيرا وهكذا.
Okay.
So فإن is اسم حروف مشبه بالفعل. الكلمات الخافية is اسم إن. تردد في سورة تردد is فعل تردد is فعل ماضي with هو هي ضمير مستتر فاعل of it. and في سورة قاف is جار مجرور متعلق تردد فعل. So كثيرا is مفعول به for تردد فعل. So فعل ماضي along with jar majroor and مفعول به will become the ismu inna. So inna with its ism and khabar will be that jumla ismiya.
اسمية. Yes. And of course, same thing with kalimat al-sadiyah. It's the same thing repeating.
Same thing.
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So just one thing, I think. There, كثيرا, you said مفعول به.
سورة كثيرا مفعول به.
Sorry to
It's
interrupt
actually-
you, sister, but should it be al-kalimati? It shouldn't be al-kalimata.
Kalimati. Yes, kalimati.
Kalimati,
Because-
and then kafiyata. It should be kafiyata, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Sorry.
kafiyata.
Kafiyata.
And
Yes, you're right.
safiyata.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
Thank you
that-
for that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So we have inna al-kalimati al-qafiyata. Certainly, the words that have qaf in it, or words with qaf, yeah, words containing the letter qaf, ترددت في سورة قاف كثيرا, repeated in Surah Qaf a lot. والكلمات الصادية ترددت في سورة صاد كثيرا وهكذا. And words with letter صاد repeated in Surah Sad كثيرا, a lot, and so on and so forth. So that's, he's giving his argument, what the earlier generations observed. They observed the fact that when you look at a surah that begins with a single letter, then that letter keeps on repeating in that surah, and so on and so forth. But just one thing, كثيرا here, we normally do the i'rab of كثيرا قليلا as the نائب مفعول مطلق, because the idea is كثر كثيرا, like there's a فعل that is محذوف. So this is the صفة, yeah, to that فعل. So it's going to be مفعول مطلق in a sense.
So sister, here earlier generations are referring to other books than Quran, right?
No, Quran. This entire book is talking about Quran. This entire, the birul Qur'aniyy is talking about Quran. So they noticed that when you go to Surah Qaf, for example, it begins with a single letter, Qaf, right? And then you read the entire surah, you see that there's Qaf
So this is
almost
what
everywhere.
so this is what writer is mentioning, right?
Yes, the writer is
Because
mentioning that.
previously we were, yeah. Okay. Walid bin Mughira was saying something. So here it's okay, writer something.
Oh, okay. So let me put the connection for you. So in it, when he started, he was talking about how beautiful the Quran is, and even the Quraysh, the leaders, they couldn't stop themselves from listening to the Quran. So he's basically trying to tell you that Quran is amazing. Okay, he's preparing you for how amazing the Quran is before he tells you exactly how amazing it is. So he's just doing that, and he mentions how, you know, what Walid ibn Mughira mentioned, just to tell you how mesmerized by the Quran is. Now he finished that part. So when he started in the Ta'bir al-Qur'ani, certainly the expression of the Quran, how the Quran expresses itself, is so beautiful in a way that every single word, rather every single letter, was placed in an artistic, beautiful way. So he basically started a new chapter. He stopped talking about the Quraysh and Walid and all that. Now he's trying to explain to you how artistic and how beautiful, and how each word, rather each letter, has been placed in a beautiful artistic way. And so he goes on to say that the entire Quran was considered for this task. It wasn't just a single surah or a single, like when you do a study, you study an entire thing. So that's what he's saying. He just didn't study a single ayah or a single surah. He studied the entire Quran and he noticed these things. So for the next passages, we're going to be discussing these things that he noticed in the Quran. And he starts by saying that it wasn't him who started noticing these things. Actually, earlier generations, they also noticed these things. They noticed that, for example, if you go to Surah Qaf or Surah Sad, and they begin with Sad, the letter Sad, and then it goes on, then you realize that that surah, the entire surah, has a lot of Sad in it. Or if you're reading Surah Qaf, it starts with Qaf, but if you read the entire surah, it has a lot of Qaf in it. So they noticed some amazing things about how the Quran expresses itself, how words are placed in the Quran, how letters are placed in the Quran. So that's what he's saying in this particular passage. Hope that connected for you.
Yeah, okay, Jazakallah khairan.
Yeah, cool.
Sister, this wahakaza, so it is getting atfa.
Wahakada basically just means and so on and so forth. That's the Arabic way of saying so on and so forth, etc.
So it will be a new,
like this.
so wow is the nafia. It is a new sentence, like sister.
Yeah, it's like a new sentence. Not really a sentence, but more like because when I say and so on, it's not really a sentence. It's more of a etc. Like etc. Yeah, etc.
So because this kasiran will become the maful bihi of the previous fail taraddat here. So wo hakaza. So this will be a different thing, not attached to this sentence, right?
It is ma'tuf in a sense, because it's saying and so on and so forth. Like when you're giving an example and you say I don't know, Maryam ate a banana and an orange and I don't know, something, and so on and so forth. Like, I don't want to explain everything. I'm just saying, okay, this, I've given you 2 examples, so on and so forth. Like, there are more examples like this. I just don't want to say them. Like, you get the idea. Yeah, hakaza.
I think, yeah, it's matuf on al-kalimat as-sadiyah.
So this is atf on the fail, sister?
Yeah, atf on the fail.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, because you can see like taraddadat.
Again taraddadat, 2 taraddadats.
Yeah, so hakada. No, actually, well, kalimat. Sorry, it's
kalimat.
Matuf to kalimat. Sorry. So he could continue and say, well, kalimat al. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, like the individual words which comes in that way. Okay, got it.
Yes.
Okay. So again, these are all ismu inna itself, hence which will be forming again
another jumla ismiya. Yeah. So you can do so many jumla ismiyas, but because I don't want to say all those, I just say hakad.
Okay. Jazakallah.
Yeah, cool.
So it's more like an Arabic expression, like, you have in English such and such, this and that. Something like that,
Exactly.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use it like that. There's also another one, I think he uses it.
There's another word for this and that. What is the expression for that? This and that,
He used it here. I'm forgetting.
Yeah, we did read it somewhere.
Yeah.
Like when you read dictionary, you see a lot of times fulana.
Yes.
So and so.
Yeah. We're going to encounter it somewhere because he uses it also in this book. I think it will come.
I think it's good to memorize these phrases.
Yeah. It would help you also in developing speaking conversation. Exactly. Yeah. Any other questions, clarifications, or anything like that? Okay. Wow, this was really good progress today. Like, it's only just 1 paragraph from page 6 that is remaining. So that's today, alhamdulillah, was good. But page 7 is going to be awesome. Like, I think we're going to just do one paragraph. Inshallah khair.
Oh.
Let's see.
I was
Page
hoping that we could at least increase our pace and complete 7. So do you think it should be a problem? Okay.
Page 7, because it's a really old text that he's going to quote here, and it's a very very convoluted type of sentence that is very confusing. Inshallah khair.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I remember, we were digging out the meaning of Malakit Tawil, and you only got to know that it's the name of a book.
Yeah, it's actually Milakut Ta'wil. So let's fix that already.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
Jazakallah khair. Jazakallah khair.
وإياكم جزاكم الله خير. I think I'll see you guys next week. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.
وعليكم
السلام. جزاك الله خيرا.
جزاك الله خيرا كثيرا.
وإياكم جزاكم الله وإياكم.